The Atlanta Braves dropped their series opener to the Arizona Diamondbacks 8-3, and we've got to talk about it.
This is the Braves Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Atlanta Braves. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into the Braves Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, where we cover your Atlanta sports teams each and every day. I'm your host, Lindsay Crosby, author of the Braves Today newsletter over at bravestoday.com. You can follow me on social media at Crosby Baseball. That's my good friend Jake Mastroianni, host of Locked On Braves. Follow him on social media at Shortstop Ball. And Jake, Braves dropped game one of the Arizona Diamondbacks series 8-3. Two teams that were really similar coming into the season. They've struggled on the mound. We've struggled offensively. Both of us have losing records, despite being one of the best in baseball at the thing we do well. And this one, they did the thing that they do well better than we did the thing that we do well. Them scoring 8 runs, including 5 off of Spencer Strider, who gets tagged for 3 home runs in the loss.
Yeah, I mean, it was their superstars, right? I mean, their superstars performed and ours didn't, but it is two, very similar teams and kind of where they are record-wise, and both kind of disappointing too. Both of these teams had playoff aspirations. They obviously just had a tough loss, it looks like, with Corbin Burns going down. So they have some injuries to a pitching staff that's already been pretty rough. But in this one, I mean, it was the Diamondbacks offense that has been one of the best in baseball that was able to overcome all of that. And the Braves offense just not able to keep up, and the pitching certainly not doing enough either.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have plenty of negative things to say about the offense. I want to start with the pitching. And you mentioned their stars. If you like, Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte together combined for 6 hits in 7 at-bats. They scored 5 runs. They had 7 RBI. They walked 3 times, and they hit collectively 4 home runs, 3 of them off of Spencer Strider. Atlanta as a team finished with 6 hits. And only one of them was for extra bases. It was the Drake Baldwin home run. How much of this, we're going to dive into all the specifics of what Strider did, but how much of this, what were the odds that Atlanta could have won a game when the 2 top stars did this?
Odds aren't great. But I still felt like they had a chance until Corbin Carroll's final blow. And if we want to get into that now, we can. But Rafael Montero, great 8th inning, looked really good against the bottom of the order. You bring him back out, he gets 2 quick outs, but now he's approaching 30 pitches. You're facing Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, who have been doing all the damage.
Red hot.
And you allow him to face those 2 hitters. Really all it took was Corbin Carroll. And you got to see it coming to that bat. Corbin was taking some really good pitches. He was fouling off some and just looked like he was on it. It just felt like something bad was about to happen there, and it did. And look, who knows the way the 9th inning played out. Certainly it wasn't going to make a difference, but felt like you at least had a chance in that bottom of the 8th. You had the tough luck by Ozuna. Felt like maybe the offense still had a puncher's chance. You would have at least forced them to use their closer and Justin Martinez, and now they didn't even have to do that. So It's just, and I get it from Snicker's point of view. You got 2 outs. You don't want to try to use another bullpen arm there, but again, it's a 2-run game. You cannot let Montero face the top of the order, especially not 2 guys that have been as hot on the night as Carroll was.
Yeah, I mean, it's you had so many other options. Yes, you used De Los Santos, you used Pierce Johnson. You only get 5 out of Strider. But honestly, Scott Blewett, just about every time he's come in, has been really good and should probably have gotten in the game to start that inning. Or Daysbel Hernandez, who hadn't pitched on Saturday. Raisel Iglesias could have pitched. You didn't use him until the finale on Sunday. There's a lot of different options you could have gone to there. Dylan Lee has had 2 days off. A lot of different places you could have gone other than a second inning out of Rafael Montero, who you kind of got lucky that he didn't have a bunch of walks and issues, but that's always a threat. He had to bring the ball in the zone, hung a splitter a little bit, and it got launched by Carroll.
Yeah, and I don't want to make it like this is what cost him the game, but it certainly put the game away. And and you were trying to stretch another inning out of a reliever who was your worst reliever. And like I said, I don't feel like once you give up that first hit, you got to get somebody up, at least go out to the mound and talk to somebody to give somebody else a chance to get ready. Like you said, just go to Blewett if you have to. Go to your next worst arm in the bullpen. But again, Not the ultimate deciding factor in it, but it certainly put the game on ice.
Yeah. All right. So backing up from that, we're going to stick with the pitching for a minute. Spencer Strider's start, he did some different stuff today, right? When you're kind of watching, he didn't throw, like he's always been like 90% fastball slider. He did not do that today. He threw 46% fastballs, so less than half of the time, which is just not a very Spencer Strider thing to do. 35% slider, 13% curveball. He threw 11 of them, 6% changeup. He threw 5 of them. He was getting whiffs, 8 whiffs on the slider, another 2 on the curveball, 3 on the changeup. But the issue in this one was the fastballs that he was throwing. A lot of them, especially I think all the home runs that he gave up, right down the middle, about 95 miles an hour. He threw 39 fastballs. They swung at 22. They whiffed, like they missed on 1 of them. And it feels like, yes, he adjusted by not throwing as many fastballs, but he still threw too many down the heart of the plate. And when he's throwing 95 instead of 98, things like this are going to happen.
Yeah, you look at the 3 home runs that he allowed. The first one to Marte, a changeup that just stayed up, and Marte, deposited it. And then the other 2, fastball 95 right down the middle on both of them. The one to Carroll, and then the second one to Marte. And you can't really make those mistakes against any hitters, except maybe the Braves hitters. They seem to miss those pitches quite regularly, but especially those 2 guys. I mean, Ketel Marte, he has been one of the best hitters in the league for the last several years now.
And he's done this to you time and time again.
Yeah, and so it just can't happen. I mean, if it's 97, maybe you got a little bit better chance of getting away with that, and he probably has in the past, pitching 97, 98, but it makes a difference, those 2 miles per hour. And again, they're both, right down the middle, and you just can't make those mistakes to those types of hitters to make you pay. But outside of that, again, I thought it was an okay outing. The slider definitely had did some good things in this one.
Yeah.
And I really haven't had a chance to go back and count it up. I wanted to see after really that 3rd inning, so the last 2 innings there, it felt like he was predominantly slider, threw in some curveballs, and kind of started to back off the fastball a little bit, except for the one he threw right down the middle to Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's really going to have to be the game plan for him going forward. He is going to have to work off of the slider to try to make that fastball play up. It's also fastball location, which again, that's usually the thing that takes the longest to come back when you're coming back from injury like that and not pitching for a while. But the fastball location has to be better. But I also think at the diminished velocity, he may have to pitch backwards a little bit more and start with that slider and then hope that it makes that fastball play up more.
Yeah, it's like, and he's actually talked about this before. He said, I would rather throw 98 down the middle than 92 on the black. Well, right now you're throwing 95, and 95 down the middle is a little bit worse than 98. You may have to your point, use more of other pitches, come back to the fastball later. You may have to work backwards. You may have to, at times, like you pointed out, almost abandon the fastball completely, stick on some of the other stuff, especially your second time through, and really try to just, do something different until that velocity comes back. I feel like it will eventually. Okay, in just a second, I want to get to the offense because there was a possibility of a big inning. It didn't work out, but ultimately just some aggressiveness early, and it really let Zac Gallen get comfortable. We'll talk about that next, right here on the Braves Postcast. Do you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, and that's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances, because Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. The thing that I love is me and my partner, we can manage all of our finances. It's smoother than ever. I can track shared accounts, what I have for my personal account, what she has for her personal account. We can set goals. We can stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for 50% off your first year. And with that money you save, get the supplies you need from the sites made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you're a DIY doing some work around the house and you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you will always talk to a real person. For the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage of this program, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM. Start ordering your plumbing, your HVAC, your electrical supplies with just a few clicks. And everybody, trade pros and DIYers alike, can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's at supplyhouse.com. Hey, Jake, 8-3 loss for the Braves to the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. And it felt like you had, and you mentioned earlier, you had an opportunity in the 8th inning to get back in this. You finally get Zac Gallen out of the game. Ronald Acuna Jr. leads off with a single. Drake Baldwin ends up grounding out. So Acuna is out at second. Baldwin's on first. Riley singles. Matt Olson then strikes out with runners on first and second. And Marcell Ozuna hit what I thought off the bat was going to be a home run to center field. It had all of everything you would expect a home run to have. I mean, 106 off the bat, 22-degree launch angle, and it's caught at the wall by Alek Thomas, the very top of the wall. Was that their best chance to get back into this game, or did they just give up too many opportunities earlier?
Oh, where to go with this one? Okay. They played 9 innings, right? You get 9 innings to try to score runs. They scored 3 runs in 1 inning of this game, and 2 of those runs were gifted to them. They had 2 real scoring chances in 9 innings. You had that 4th inning where you scored 3 times, and you had the 8th inning, and that's it. And it's very hard to stay competitive. And look, they scored 3 runs tonight. Yay for them. Yeah. But you just didn't really do anything else outside of that. And it does come back to the first 3 innings, I think, that you're alluding to. Mm-hmm. You have the guy coming in Zac Gallen, who can struggle with command at times. Now, I thought he threw the ball pretty well tonight, especially to righties. He was able to front door that cutter inside and then throw that knuckle curve off of it. But you're talking about a guy coming in that was leading the league in walks, and he throws 23 pitches in the first 3 innings. That is just terrible. It's a terrible approach. You got to do a better job of making him work early on, because what's the weakest part of this Diamondbacks team? The pitching overall, but especially that bullpen. You have got to try to get into that bullpen as early as you can. And when you let a starter who struggles with command, who is leading the league in walks, throw 23 pitches in the first 3 innings, that's just a terrible approach. It's a terrible game plan. You've got to have better at bats. And you've got to do something else to try to make him work and get into that bullpen as quickly as you can. But overall, I mean, out of 9 innings, you had 2 chances. And in their first chance, they got 3 runs, thankfully, because Eugenio Suarez, as much as he hits bombs, he is not a good third baseman over there. So he helped the Braves out, scoring 2 of those runs. Good hit by Ozzie Albies in that inning, though. After that, he's obviously been swinging a good bat lately. But then it was the 8th inning. And like the Matt Olson at bat, he gets a fastball right down the middle and misses it. Like I said earlier, they're top hitters. They're not missing those pitches. I will give him a little bit of a break. He had that splitter at the bottom of the zone, maybe just clipped the strike zone. You could tell he was frustrated by that call. Mm-hmm. He ultimately ends up striking out on the splitter down below the zone, probably with that still in the back of his head. But again, got to be better than that. And I thought the Ozuna ball, I don't know that I thought it was out, but I certainly thought it was going to be over his head. He just absolutely crushed that. But Alek Thomas, really good center fielder, able to track it down. But again, you give yourself 2 chances in 9 innings. I mean, you're lucky you got 3 runs.
To your point, the Braves are 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position in this game. That's it. 3 at-bats with a runner in scoring position. Because again, other than the Drake Baldwin home run, your other 5 hits were all singles. And that's kind of been there's been a lot of discourse on Braves or Atlanta media about you don't have to hit the ball hard. You just have to hit the ball where they ain't. When you don't hit the ball hard and you just try to hit the ball wherever they're not, all you end up with is singles. And it's just, none of this is working. It doesn't matter if they hit the ball hard, soft, whatever. It's not working out. We saw Michael Harris try to bunt to get on in this game, just looking to do something. We've said it over and over again. I don't know what to do here. The players have to be better. You can change the third base coach. That's not going to do anything. It was a good call it was a good read to send Olsen on that ball under Suarez's legs. Doesn't change the fact that you went 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Like, that's just where this team is right now. And people are in the comments. They're mad at Snit. They want Snit to be fired. Guess what? That's not going to make the hitters hit. They're going to make themselves hit. And I don't know what you do here other than, does the players only meeting, is this what you finally need to get the mythical players only meeting that the fans think is going to fix everything?
Again, it's worth trying at this point. I don't know either. I mean, you're
Jason Hayward when you need it.
Forgiven. I mean, these are the players that you have. They're either going to get out of it or they're not. I mean, you're not going out and trading for it. And Profar is the only real help that we know is coming, and I don't even know what that's going to look like after a guy that hasn't played for 3 months. So these are the guys that you have to roll with. And look, Acuna has 2 hits. Baldwin has a home run. Riley has a hit. Olsen had a hit and a walk tonight. Ozuna, had the hard hit, unfortunate, but he at least scored a run in this one, getting on the air. So, I mean, the top of your lineup did some things, but it's not enough. And again, it just comes back to the whole thing for me is, 9 innings, 7 of them were pretty much completely wasted. And you didn't do enough. And then the one chance that you had with the middle of your order, Matt Olson doesn't come through. Marcell Ozuna had some tough luck. And that's just the way it's been going for the Braves offensively.
Yeah. We'll hope that tomorrow's going to be a little bit better. It's Merrill Kelly versus Chris Sale. We talked about this last weekend. You got to win the Chris Sale start. He's been so good recently. He's pitching as well as he did in the Cy Young year. You've got to win the Chris Sale start. If you do that, you have a chance to split the series on Thursday. Grant Holmes versus Brandon Pfaadt, who's another guy who is struggling to start the year like Zac Gallen has been. This has been Braves Postcast for Tuesday, June 3rd. Again, 8-3 loss to the Braves to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They will be back in action tomorrow. Do us a favor, if you're listening on audio, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, leave a 5-star review with some kind words. We're doing our best over here that we can with this team that we've been given this season. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to Locked On Braves and Locked On Sports Atlanta. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live to talk about tomorrow's game. I want to manifest it and say it's going to be a win. At this point, I'm not really sure, but we'll find out together, Jake. For Jake Mastroianni, I'm Lindsay Crosby. This has been the Braves Postcast.